this is Amy Steele from Friday the 13th Part 2. Ginny, I'm sure you guys know me as Ginny, the one that kicks ass, the one that lives, the one that survives. That's me. You are listening to the Timo and Harley Show. Awesome show, awesome people, awesome guys. Have fun.
Welcome to the Timo and Harley Show.
Thank you for listening to the Timo and Harley Show. I am Timo. Over there is my partner in mind crime, Mr. Ben Harley. Say hello, Harley.
What is happening, people?
Ben, happy birthday, Harley.
Thank you, Timo.
You're what, 34? Yeah. Is it 34 this year?
27.
27. I'm sorry, I made you a little bit older than you were. I apologize.
What the hell?
Yeah. So you were born in the late 90s then.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, very good. Very good. So
the late 90s.
Yeah. So you were actually going to be 50, right?
Yeah, 50 years old, Timo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Half a
the
century.
Big 50.
Yeah.
I know.
How do you feel?
Yeah,
do you feel 50?
Yeah, I do. I feel 150, basically, most days. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Chances had his birthday and he was 13 and he got asked, do you feel like a teenager? I remember those questions like, don't ask if you feel how old you are. Just don't ever do it.
No. Yeah, don't ask.
Right.
No, Tim, I'm happy that I've made it this far. Let's put it that way. So it's an accomplishment, right?
Oh, yeah. And a surprise.
And a surprise. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. For most people. Right. Wow, he made it that far? Like, oh, jeez.
Right.
Well, yeah, a lot of people are losing out on some bets, baby. Yeah.
I hope you're collecting. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I am.
Hello, all you deep thinkers out there, too. Mr. Ben, I got a nice birthday present for you. And it's a gift, inadvertently, I think, from the deep thinkers, Mr. Ben Harley. I got a notice from Podbean, which is a company that we use to release our podcast every week. We got a nice little badge that says, congratulations for 10,000 downloads.
10,000 downloads. That's awesome.
10,000 downloads. Man, gee whiz.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
That was just this week, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for doing that, for listening and doing that. So I know that some people are like, you don't thank me much. I just wanted to listen to one episode 4 years ago. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
But seriously, though, I know a lot of people listen to a couple of episodes here or there, and some people it's a little awkward when people apologize that they don't listen or they haven't been listening. Or something. It's like, well, that's okay.
Yeah,
we just put it out
there.
We
appreciate that people have listened, period.
Exactly.
Once, twice, or whatever.
Exactly. And, you might not always want to listen to us talk about some of these movies that we do. And I get that.
Some of these movies are god-awful. But hey,
right. I know we have some friends that are more interested in Bigfoot, so if we talk about that, they might listen a little bit more. Or when we had a Hicks season, it's always Hicks season now, so we're trying to trick you.
Hicks season now.
That's right.
Yes,
that's right. We're trying to trick you now because Mr. Danny Hicks is in his metal chair. Told you to be there every time we did the show. So, but thank you so much, everybody, for sticking with us. It's been over 10 years now. Yeah. My goal is to do 1,000 shows. That's what and then we're done. Then you're done with me.
We're retired.
We're done. Yeah. We're done. I mean, it's too many movies. That's enough. So,
it's a lot of movies. Isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. So, but we're very honored and humbled, and thank you very much for
thank
listening.
you, everybody. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's a good birthday present. How's that?
Yes, it is.
Good?
Yes, it is. I didn't get that from nobody. That's a bunch of bullshit. So. Let's see here, Mr. Ben Harley. Let's see. So I got next couple of weeks. Show might be a little. I don't want to say dodgy, a little shorter. Next couple of weeks, we got some summer vacation plans. Yes. That we're going to try to social distance our way to and back from, but it's going to cause the show to be a little sketchy for a little bit. But I've been pretty good about making sure that everybody gets their fix every week. So we're going to try to make sure everybody gets it every week. But it might be a little bit of a shorter show, so brace yourselves for that. Let's see, and then
it might be easier on their ears, Tim. So.
That's true. That's true. So, but going to Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
So
that'll be fun. But that's a good time down there.
It is. It is. So we're gonna
that's
go
where I got
there.
my shirts. One of my shirts.
Your Western shirt, right?
Yeah, one of my Western. My potentate of hate shirt there. Yes. Yeah.
We'll have to make a potentate pilgrimage down to the shirt store if it's still there.
Yeah. Yeah. Stages West, I do believe, is what it's called.
All right.
So.
We'll have to make it. Say, hey, I know the one and only potentate of hate. And they'll look at me like, really?
Who's that? Yeah, and really? That guy?
I'll say, yeah. And then they'll
they're going to escort you to the door.
They're going to escort me to the town limit, actually. So
right, yeah. They'll be like,
that's probably
more likely, yeah.
Let's see here. Let me go through a few things we watched here, Mr. Ben Harley. Let's see here. Got some stuff from the 80s. Been kind of an 80s week here. Let's see here. From 1988.
Oh, right? Fine year, Tim.
Yes.
Fine year.
We watched Sorority Babes and the Slime Bowl Bolorama.
Wait a second. Say that again?
Sorority Babes and the Slime Bowl Bolorama. That's right. Starring Linnea Quigley, Michelle Bauer, Brink Stevens. Even has a Buck Flower in it. This was...
does it? Yeah.
I wouldn't say... This was a USA Up All Night movie.
Okay.
Put it to you that way.
Sounds
it's
like
a goofy... It's sorority girls are trying to initiate some new sisters, and they make them go to a bowling alley to steal a trophy. And meanwhile,
I think I've seen this.
Yeah, you probably have. Yeah, and then there's some college young men, nerdy guys, let's say, and they go to escort the ladies to help them, and they drop the trophy, and an imp comes out.
Okay. Yeah.
A wisecracking little puppet monster, and then turns all the kids into zombies, and they kill each other and stuff. So, or possess zombies more than anything. So it's kind of like, like another cheaper version of like Night of the Demons or something like that. So
sure, okay, I guess
it was all right. It was.
I think I've seen it. It sounds vaguely familiar.
You probably have. It was a pretty well known movie. And Angio's been having a lot of stressful times at work, and she just basically said, "Whatever turns my brain off."
Yes.
We can watch that. So I said, how about Sorority Babes and the Slime Bowl Bolorama? She's like, brain is turned off. Let's rock it. Let's do it. So,
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, I feel her pain completely.
Right. Let's see here. Watched a couple of Alien ripoffs. Yeah. Like early 80s.
There's a lot of those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So
especially from the 80s.
Oh, yeah. So from 1981, what's 1981, Mr. Ben Harley?
The best year in cinema,
according to me. That's right.
This
movie does not support my theory. It is the movie Inseminoid, otherwise known as, or also known as, AKA Horror Planet. You may have seen this.
Yes, I think horror. Yeah, it sounds much more familiar. Yeah.
Yes. It stars Judy Geeson. It's got actually some names in it a little bit. Directed by Norman J. Warren, who's a low budget. I believe he's British, I think. Low budget film director. He's done lots of little low budget movies. He's kind of known as one of those bottom of the barrel, bottom feeder type of filmmakers here. But he put some creativity in this movie, and it doesn't look bad. Like he made it look pretty good. It's got some production value to it. Let's say he was very thrifty with the movie. We'll put it that way.
Okay,
but it's got Judy Geeson in it. She's been in a lot of things. Victoria Tennant is in it. Stephanie Beacham's in it, and Robin the Spaz Clark is in it. So the main guy, I don't know why, but the main guy, is running around these tunnels toward the end. And he's flailing his arms around for no reason, because actually it's slowing him down. So I don't exactly know what he's doing. But he must not run very often, to put it that way. So we watched that, and I was like, it's all right. So it made me think of another film that I told Angio. I said, okay, well, this is kind of bottom feeder type of stuff. It was fun to look at. the ladies like to take their space suits off for you a little bit in this one. So not that was enticing Angio very much, but I'm just saying. Or me, Mr. Ben Harley. I have a little halo over my head.
I'm sure,
But I told her this reminded me also of another film that was released in 1985 called Creature.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with Klaus Kinski in it.
Yes. Klaus Kinski.
Yes, and directed by William Malone, who did like the remake of House on Haunted Hill and Fear.com. He was one of the guys that I could not believe was one of the Masters of Horror in the Showtime series, Masters of Horror.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, who the hell is William Malone? Like, and he did a couple movies, but like, I wouldn't consider him a master of anything except maybe worming his way into the door or something.
Right.
But anyway,
disaster.
Yeah. And this is another movie that has a couple familiar faces and lots of character actors. Lyman Ward, otherwise known as Ferris Bueller's dad, is in it. So we have people like that, like in the film and stuff. And it's more fun. I don't want to say it's more fun. It's a little better than Inseminoid or Horror Planet. It's a notch above.
Okay.
It feels a little bit less cheapy, a little less, but it is. It's still a silly movie. Yeah,
but it still is. Yeah.
But we had fun watching.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are fun. They're, time, not time wasters, but you don't have to pay so much attention, or it's just fun.
Creature's a fun one too. Creature's a difficult movie actually because it needs a good release. Like I have the best release of it. There is a Blu-ray floating around Amazon that has Creature on it, Encounter at Raven's Gate, and what's the other movie? Time Warp or something on it.
Okay.
It's a triple feature on a Blu-ray. It just happens to be three movies that are placed on a Blu-ray disc. They're not high def or anything. But the copy of it is the only known widescreen 16:9 version of the film that I'm aware of. Okay. And the movie was shot pretty wide. So it's the nicest copy out there, but I would still wait. I would still wait for it. For it to be released. And I'm shocked that hasn't been released in a better copy. Because, I mean, you remember Creature as a kid, right? I mean, it wasn't it wasn't Alien or anything, but if you were a video store kid, you know what this movie was. And it was on HBO and stuff, wasn't it? Showtime?
Yes. Yes, it was. Yeah.
So, but anyway, that was okay. Not too bad watching. Let's see.
No. Those are fun to go back and visit. And, Klaus Kinski's great. Just about it.
He sure is. As soon as he shows up, like, well, here's Klaus. Get out your marijuana.
Yeah.
He's going to satisfy it. He's going to satisfy the toke. So he's a toke satisfier. So
he is. Yeah.
Let's see. That's going to have to be a new personality type in the show. We have the deep thinkers and the toke satisfiers. Ben Harley, I would imagine we would be more of toke satisfiers. The toke satisfier, yes. The deep thinkers listen to us in awe, kind of like when you go to the monkey house. In the zoo, where you just kind of look at these things like, they're just not as smart as we are, but they're fun to watch, and they sling their poo around, and that's good. So, let's see. Getting back into my comfort zone, Mr. Ben Harley, we watched a movie from 1944.
That's definitely more.
This is so far my comfort zone. It even contains a John Carradine in it.
It does.
We watched The Invisible Man's Revenge.
Ooh. Okay.
That's like the fifth, or fourth or fifth Invisible Man movie.
Yeah.
Let's see, starring John Hall. I mentioned John Carradine and Our Lady that we've been talking about a little bit. Evelyn Ankers. She's got her anchors in me. She's the Wolfman. The Wolfman. Actress, leading actress.
Fame.
Yes. This is okay. I like the Invisible Man movies. This is a little bit. The problem I have with this series of films is I really like the first one. Very sci-fi, lots of humor in it, but it's got a vicious side to it. It's got a little bit of a darker side to it.
Yeah, because he starts to go really mad after a while. Yeah, and then he does some awful things to people.
Yes, he does. Yeah. So this one is a John Hall is like, he's backstabbed by a couple of his friends, so he's coming back for revenge, hence the title, The Invisible Man's Revenge. It's okay. It's just not very compelling. It gets a little more compelling when Evelyn Ankers is on the screen.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I can put it to you.
Sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just like John Hall wants to get his revenge, but John Carradine is actually the scientist, a goofy scientist who has the invisible serum.
Oh, okay.
So he kind of like...
I bet he played a good scientist in it. Right?
Well, he did his thing, yeah. So,
yeah, he did his John Carradine.
Yeah, right. I don't know. There's just nothing like... Look, I like the sequel to The Invisible Man with Vincent Price in it. I thought that was really good. Well, The Invisible Man Returns?
Yes.
That was really good. Surprisingly good, actually. This one's like, and I admittedly, I skipped over The Invisible Agent and The Invisible Woman and the other Invisible movies, but I really should put my eyeballs on them. I know I saw these things when I was a little kid.
Yeah, me too. It's been a while, though.
Yeah, they just don't sound like, I'm just never in the mood to watch The Invisible Woman.
The Invisible Woman, yeah.
No, I'm not. Like Evelyn Ankers, for instance, in this movie was very visible. Therefore, I was fine watching it. So I don't know.
She's a tall drink of water.
She is. A couple more, Mr. Ben Harley, real quick here. So this movie was from 2009. But it was just released on Prime, so you can catch us on Prime. It's called Mutant Swinger from Mars.
Okay.
Directed by our good friend, Mr. Danny Hicks's good friend, Mike Callio.
Nice.
Yes, Mike Callio. If you don't know who Mike Callio is, if you know the movie My Name is Bruce, he plays the director of Cave Alien 2.
Yeah.
In the movie. He also does the making of My Name is Bruce on the disc, and he is currently also making a documentary. It's in pre-production right now, but he's doing a documentary on Danny as well.
That's awesome.
Anyway, this movie just happened to go up on Prime, and I don't think he even realized it was up on Prime until I told him. And
really?
So I
He's like, interesting. Yeah.
Put my little seedy eyeballs on that, and it's a fun little like throwback to Ed Wood movies.
Sure.
And stuff like, it's wrapped around like a fake documentary about a phony director, Ed Wood type of director, William Castle type of guy. And then so they wrap around this documentary about this filmmaker, and then in the middle of it, they show the movie they're talking about, Mutant Swinger from Mars.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's real breezy. Yeah. It's real fun. It does have like this... the picture is enveloped in an old-fashioned television set. So basically, as you're watching it on your TV, you're seeing a square picture in the center, and then around it is a fake TV. Basically, could turn you off. I don't know. It didn't really bother me much. It's just there as a little gag, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah, sure. I get it.
But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I definitely recommend people, especially if you want to just check your brain at the door for a little bit, just have a little smirk, a little laugh, watch this. There's some good moments in it.
Yeah, I definitely need more of that.
Yeah, Sure. Well, we like these old crazy movies anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a love letter to the old 50s sci-fi alien invasion movies and things like that. They definitely, if you know Plan 9 from Outer Space and Robot Monster and movies like that, you'll catch the direct references.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure there's even a moment where I'm like, you're stupid. There's stuff like that in it. So it's good time, fun time. Again, Mutant Swinger from Mars. So check that one out.
I think I'm down. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then finally, Mr. Ben Harley from 2020.
Okay.
From 2020, I watched the movie.
Wait a second. Yeah. Come on now.
This is also on Prime. I watched the documentary film, The Supernatural Sasquatch.
Oh, Supernatural, huh?
Part 2. Okay, so this is one of those movies made by Justin Chernopesky.
Yeah.
He's the young, handsome guy with the beard.
Oh, the guy that goes around and
he goes around. He's got a beard.
Crystals on his beard. Yeah.
He's got ice crystals on his beard. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
So this one, he's pondering the supernatural aspects. I guess part two.
Yeah.
Of this. I don't recall part 1, but we probably crabbed it.
I don't either. Yeah, we might have.
Yeah, these Amazon things, they run together a little bit. They do run together.
when I first got Amazon, thanks a lot, Tim Prime, I went bonkers and like overloaded and, overdosed on Bigfoot stuff. And so, they
started growing hair.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
doing calls at night.
Right. This is
in the living room.
Right. This is kind of the same as this guy's other. Look, he's one thing I'll always give him this. He ain't trying to hoax nobody because he never hears or sees anything out there.
No.
This one though, I think he did find pieces of like hogs, like corpses, like legs of things, like they're out in the woods. Yeah, it looked a little like, I don't know what that is. That looks like something he came upon that he didn't understand what he was seeing. Like, I don't know, a meat processing plant dumping shit illegally or something, maybe, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it looked fishy. I'm just saying I don't know what that was. And in fairness, this guy doesn't say he knows what this shit is either.
No.
And stuff. So he finds a few things out in the woods. He does a lot of talking in his tent, a lot of quiet talking in his tent and stuff. But he does talk to a couple people. And yes, he is talking about the supernatural aspects of what some people consider supernatural to the Sasquatch phenomenon. A lot of people describe seeing orbs of lights and stuff in the woods. I got a hard time.
And then a Bigfoot. Yeah,
and then a Bigfoot. Right.
Yeah, then a Bigfoot, later. Or not later, I mean, around the same time, or there's been sightings of both at the same time and things like that,
And they're kind of dancing around the issue. Is it a spirit animal, or is it a alien, or is it a... I'm having a low comfort level with it just fucking existing, all right? And so... these are hard for me. I almost feel like this is sort of when we get to this place in Bigfoot lore and research, it makes me stop and go, am I fucking crazy? You know what I mean? I mean, it's sort of like, wait a minute. Am I one of those people that's nuts that went down the rabbit hole too far?
Is this where I'm headed? Is this where it's going to end? Yeah.
Right. Now, you said you started watching a little bit of the town that loved Bigfoot or something. Those people are very more on the same scope that we're on. It's fun.
Yeah.
If it's out, it's fun to talk about. It's fun to tell our little spook stories to each other about them and stuff. And that there's a creature in the woods that is undiscovered by science, let's say, technically. And that's interesting and fun. I don't know about this other stuff, Mr. Ben Harley. I'm not really sure I want these people on my side, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. And well, this is the thing. I just I have a feeling that it's a flesh and blood animal. I just do, you know what I mean? Well, I'm sure. I don't know, Tim. And I'm a guy that saw something very odd, as a youth and experienced something very odd. But I still have a hard time sometimes with the alien stuff, period.
Well, I don't want to talk for you, but can I put it? Can I encapsulate it like this?
Yeah,
it's not that you have a problem with people that see UFOs or a problem with people who see Bigfoot. Do you have an issue with people that like to combine those two things and make them into one?
Kind of. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
I'm
just not on. This is going to be fun. That wavelength. I'm just not. Right. You know what I mean? I'm just not.
Well,
and I mean, I'm already put myself out there enough by saying that I believe in Bigfoot, really, and I'm okay. I'm going to go to my deathbed, which hopefully it's not too far. Or I mean, hopefully it is further, but it's not too.
Careful what you say.
It's much further down the road.
Right.
But
10,000 downloads. Be careful. There might be a couple of hits out there that need some work during this difficult time.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I'm already, enough's enough. I can't, you know what I mean?
Well, there are a lot of people that see, let's just call them orbs, lights that float around, stuff like that. Okay, I don't know. This is the issue that I have with everyone who has the mindset that is open-minded about aliens and Bigfoot and stuff like that is these people tend to also be conspiracy theorists.
Yes. Yeah.
Because some people like to think that there's another way to connect those dots besides the reasonable way, besides the obvious way. They will not go for 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Oh, but if I do the connect the dots and I follow the numbers, I can make myself, oh, look, it's a race car. Aha, but if you follow the numbers in odd numbers first and even, you have an elephant. It doesn't change the fact it's supposed to be a race car.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Okay, so I have a big issue with people who connect dots in any way they so choose. Yeah. I'm not a conspiracy theorist guy. They're fascinating because usually what happens is you find things like the Ancient Aliens show is a perfect example of that when that used to be on. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's still on or not. But
I do believe it is, my friend. I think
Of course it is. So they would come up with this amazing archaeology, an amazing history that you just weren't aware of, and archaeology is finding things older and older and older and being shocked all the time by things. And as soon as someone's shocked, it's aliens, baby. And I find it still more fascinating and more shocking to think that we have a lot of the past of our own species that we have forgotten. That to me is way more compelling and way more interesting and almost frightening in a way than any alien could ever be. And so, and look, what were we to the Native Americans when we came? Well, besides
aliens.
We were aliens.
Filthy.
We were alien nation.
Yeah.
That's what we were when we were V. And we were actually, to be honest, we invaded and took over, and that's it. So even the Ancient Aliens people, they look at this evidence, the dot they're not using. Okay, the dot they're not using is what I just said. We were the aliens to the Native Americans when they came over. When Columbus, the Vikings, whoever showed up. Yeah. If you have a written record of that kind of stuff, that's kind of what you would have. You would have the whatever, the spirits came from the ocean or something like that. Well, you're just connecting dots any way you want.
Right.
My problem with this is that stop connecting dots that you don't know exist. Are there strange things? Look, oh boy. We had trees pulled out this past week, okay, of our yard to put a pool in. Yay. And
woohoo, I'm on my way on my one wheel, Timo.
There you go.
It's going to take me 3 weeks, but I'll be there.
So one of the trees was that one tree I sent you a picture of that had been just lopped off at the top. Like 15 feet high, just shoved over. And we were talking about it. And I said, that's Bigfoot evidence. and our buddy Gary, who he does a lot of farming around here and a lot of landscape work like this, like a lot of like grading, like doing grades of yards and things like that, and landscape stuff. Yeah. He does a lot of work with that stuff. Does a lot of lumber work, a lot of tree work and stuff. And I said, that's Bigfoot evidence. He goes, oh yeah, no. I said, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, So, and I said that we have tree structures out in the yard too. And I was kidding with him. I said, I really want to bring a lot of Bigfoot researchers out here and show them what I got.
Yeah.
And because look, here's the thing. I want people to reel it back in.
Sure. Yeah. They have to.
Yes. When you're going out in the woods and nothing's happening, you want things to happen. So you see 4 trees that fall on top of each other and they cause a teepee looking thing. Harley, it happens all the time out here. And I mean, a tree will fall into the fork of another tree and look like it's been balanced there.
Sure.
I promise you this stuff is not even unusual, much less rare. I have not seen one tree structure or anything to me that's been shocking. The only ones I ever saw where I was like, well, that's odd, were the ones that were pulled out of the ground and shoved into the ground upside down. Yeah. But that can still be. That can still be done. It can. You know what? There's things called avalanches.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's seasons, and some seasons have snow. And if you're up in the mountains, you could have something like that happen. And the force, is insane. So it's not impossible, but it's very curious. But I don't even find the tree structures interesting. I don't find the tree breaks interesting at all. They're just not. They're not. No. There's nothing to it at all. And it's not helping us, Harley.
No, it's not. And the thing is there's just too much, like, not every time they go out there, that's the thing too. They're like, well, there you go. There's, it's busted and twisted, but I think like you have a good point, but they're a lot of times they're going out there because they're not finding stuff. So they're looking for stuff that, and it's just, I don't know.
All right. Look, here's the thing. This is how much sense it makes to me.
Yeah.
Let's say you manage, a Walmart that's not a 24-hour Walmart. You close down Walmart on a Thursday night. You come in Friday morning, open up the Walmart, and all of the display of Charmin is scattered across the floor. And then you say, Bigfoot. It's exactly like that's how much sense it makes to me. Because I'm telling you that like you can't spend 4 weekends a year in a tent out in the woods creeping yourself out, thinking that you are a fucking expert. Right, it's not true. You're not. As a matter of fact, you're more susceptible to BS than most people. You are, because you're out there for crazy reasons to begin with. And look, here's the thing. Again, Harley, I'm very, very sympathetic to the Bigfoot thing. I think there's something to this with all the stories what people have seen. But you got to see something. Okay, broken trees happen. That's it.
Yes, a lot.
Footprints. Yes, I'm sorry, but a lot of the footprints. Yes, bears do walk like that, and they do step in their own prints, and they do look like people prints.
Yes,
they do.
Yeah, that does happen.
Yes, they do. And I'm not saying that every track. I'm just saying that there's so many things that are explained away. The only things that I can't explain away are these eyewitness accounts.
No,
and that to me is, and the Patterson footage. It's just
it's hard to dispute. Yeah, right. It is, and it's hard to dispute that. It really is. I mean, you can, but I don't know. The older I get, and the more that I watch that, the more that it's as far as faking that one, I don't know.
It's frustrating to me because it started off as when I was a little kid. It started off looking fake as fake could be. Yeah. And then as I got older, it still looked fake. But then again, and I just watched Stalking Bigfoot this week. Nice. And I had a ball. Like that movie makes so much fun of me. And I had so much fun laughing at myself because I'm not getting any point across. All I'm doing is bringing up my engineering school thing. I forgot Jason even put a bit of an engineering background. I forgot about all that stuff too. It's pretty funny. But it's something that always nagged at me about the Bigfoot thing was the dimensions of that suit and the person who would have to be inside of it. That bothered me. And then I started looking at it in a different way. And then I started asking myself the question, what would it look like? A dumb dude in a monkey suit.
A guy.
That's what it would look like because it's on two legs and stuff. So once I got past that and started looking at it, I'm like, I can't say what that is.
Right.
I can't. Right. And look, meeting Bob Gimlin and stuff, that didn't do anything really except that he's a nice guy.
Right. And we didn't even talk to him about it really,
No, I mean, it's sort of like.
And I never got to sit in on any of his seminars that he's done there. We never sat in on any of those. Well, I mean, it would have been fun,
right?
But I've listened to some stuff on Facebook, or not Facebook, but YouTube of him over the years, and then how many documentaries have we seen, Tim, over the years with him in it too? Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and he doesn't seem like he's trying to hoax anybody. He's stuck to the same story, for all the years, and just I don't know. Tim, it's really frustrating to me too, and watching these. Recently I've been telling you about the paranormal caught on tape stuff, and there's a lot of Bigfoot stuff in there, and some of it's really compelling, some of it's like I don't know. But to me, the ones that are the most compelling are these guys that are out hiking and they see something way off in the distance that shouldn't be there, a person or thing, whatever it is, shouldn't be there in the way that it's moving and how fast it's moving in the snow, and it doesn't have It's all one color, no backpack, no gear, no nothing in this thing's, it's like that to me is like very compelling because, you know what I mean? It's like these things aren't adding up. And these are people that are witnessing this stuff happening. That are like, we're out there with all this stuff. And it's like, I wouldn't be caught dead in this area without certain things. And this guy, they said this thing, whatever it is climbing this and going through the snow like it's his job. And you know what I mean? It's like, and you have to kind of at some point be like, what is that? It's not, it's too tall to be a person. It's, and so to me, those are a little bit more compelling too, because the stuff's just out of place and it shouldn't happen. If it's a person, they're in trouble, man.
Right.
Like, where are they going?
Right.
Why are they down here in this? Like, where are they going? Why, and for me, I've enjoyed that recently. Now, some of these pictures that some of these people have, like, oh yeah, I didn't see it till I got home. I looked and there he was in the background. Like, that ain't nothing, but that could be a tree structure or something, just the way that the bush is. It doesn't look like anything to me. You know what I mean? So, but but it's hard anymore, to try to get your point across to people without sounding like a moron. So we really don't need. That's not we don't need. I don't really want to start having to explain the whole thing with UFOs then too. Like, well, yeah, and then people are going to be like, oh God, here we go. Like, they're going to tune me out so fast. And me in my heart of hearts don't believe that it is extraterrestrial. I just don't, so. My
problem is that people are going.
We're not scientists.
Well,
I'm just joking.
Well, no. Here's the thing, though. That I think that the way I see it, and I've heard people say this, and I can't remember if they exactly talked about this in this Supernatural Sasquatch Part 2 program. But if you want to go quote Bigfooting, it's called just go camping. Just go as far out in the woods as you can and go camping and just walk around.
Yep. And enjoy yourself.
Just enjoy yourself.
Maybe
Yes, because you don't find Bigfoot. It finds you.
Right.
So I do believe that. And I do believe, like, when people talk about the supernatural stuff, I think people just can't believe that an animal that big can be that stealthy. Well, I do.
I do too. Yeah,
I do believe it can be if it exists. Do I know it? I don't know it. Do I know it's supernatural? No, but I do like Sherlock Holmes. And I like Elementary. And I like that whatever, like, the most plausible thing, it's probably it. The most simple, plausible answer is probably it. And I don't think the hoax is the most simple, plausible answer to this dilemma that we have with Sasquatch and does it exist or not. I don't think the hoax, because I just don't know if the Patterson hoaxer guys were around 1,000 years ago hoaxing the American Indians. No, I don't think so. And that's another, it's another one of my points, Tim. I'm telling you, right. So those are eyewitness stories. And let me ask you a question. You've done a lot of Bigfoot research yourself. I'd call you an amateur sleuth when it comes to Bigfoot. Okay. Yes. Have you ever heard, just once, I mean, even a peep of any Native American lore or anything that designates anything in the woods as Bigfoot evidence other than a sighting? No. Have you ever heard a Native American go, you see that broken tree over there? Yeah, that's Bigfoot evidence. You better stay out of the woods. No. No. No, that was Matt Moneymaker, right? Oh, yeah. I trust a Native American more than Matt Moneymaker. I'm going to put that on record. Yes. Thank you, Tim. Yes. So it's just interesting, and these shows bring up these problems, these dilemmas, I say. And Harley, I know we've cooled on a little bit because we've seen so much evidence now, and you can almost guarantee anything new is probably going to be faked. And if not, we can't prove it's not faked because everyone has so much technology in their pockets today. And that's the thing. And no matter how much evidence you have, it's just not gonna, I still say just keep going out in the woods and doing your thing. Keep your eyes open. Yeah. But I don't think that beating the crap out of trees, cooking bacon, being really creepy and taking Girl Scouts out to the woods, I don't think any of that stuff is anything ever going to do. I mean, if there's a Bigfoot looking at that, it's going, the fuck are those idiots doing? Yeah, what are they? Why are they? Yeah, I mean, why is there a guy down here with a drum set and some Girl Scouts? I just don't. Animals, I don't even like bacon. animals are curious, but when they know you're there, they can hide from you.
Yeah, yeah.
You have an advantage if you are hiding. And if you are hiding in the woods and you're an animal, the advantage is so much in your favor.
Oh, my goodness.
Silly. It's silly. I mean, how many times have you been in the woods and how often do you look up?
Yeah, not a lot.
Right.
Not a lot. Yeah.
Because if you did, you'd probably see some bobcats and all kinds of creatures of the woods up there above you. You know, I mean, it's just so. And I tell you one thing, too. I go at night or something, I'll put something in a mailbox or whatever. And just in that little patch of woods in front of our house, which is about, I don't know, 30 feet wide and like 60 feet long, I hear things scurrying around. I don't know what it is. Deer hang out there.
Yes.
You know, and so it's you just don't know. You don't know what's out there. And if deer, there's so many deer out here that they're almost like bursting at the seams. And you see a few of them. I was driving home from Ultraman band practice, and I saw about 24 of them in a field.
Okay.
And that's a lot of deer to see at one time.
Yes, it is a lot.
And they're just like what people say about Sasquatch. If you see a deer go across the road, don't look at the deer. Slow down and look at where the deer came from, because there's probably another one coming.
There's going to be a couple more coming. Yeah,
exactly. So, and you don't know they're there. And that's how people hit them usually. You know, so, but anyway, Harley, it's just one of those things where, look, the supernatural thing, let's stick to what the hell are we seeing out there? But you know what? That's not very compelling. It's not very interesting. They can't sell more documentaries on the same damn footage over and over again. And this is it's an industry.
Yes.
It's an industry. Like everything is an industry today, and people don't know it. All the politics today, they're all little industries that need to keep their shit going.
Yeah.
They're not doing this for free.
No.
Right. Bigfoot is an industry.
It's getting bigger and bigger all the time. It really is.
Right.
You know, it really is.
Do you think the companies make thermal cameras are upset about the Bigfoot thing?
No. They want, they're happy.
Right. Do you think the people that do like the Bigfoot shows, like the conventions and stuff, are upset when they see a bunch of hoaxing going on? They are maybe internally, but their pocketbook says, fine, it's more people interested in coming and seeing what the hell's going on.
Exactly.
It's all an industry. All an industry.
Yep.
You know what else is an industry, Mr. Ben Harley? Hollywood. Let's get to our movie. Let's get to our official little film for this week. The industry that is the film industry.
There's no smoke and mirrors there, is there, Jim?
No. So from 1982, all right, we have the film The Dorm That Dripped Blood, or Death Dorm, or Pranks.
Pranks, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so let me get out Movie Guy.
I like Death Dorm.
Well, the print that I watched, which was the one that Synapse put out, is the unedited version. It's like 4 minutes difference. Okay. Did you watch Pranks? Was yours like full frame, like an old VHS?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you saw like the theatrical version, I think, which is 4 minutes shorter, which it cuts out a couple of like little gory scenes and stuff like that. Wasn't sure what I'd sent you. But yes, the print that's on the Synapse Blu-ray is titled Death Dorm. But the title that's probably most widely known is The Dorm That Dripped Blood. So let me get out Movie Guy here, give you a short storyline for The Dorm That Dripped Blood. Here we go. 4 college students are stalked by an unknown assailant while staying on campus over the Christmas holidays to help clear out a dormitory, which is to be demolished. Okay, so actually, I even looked over to Angio and said last night and said, oh, so we're basically dealing with a graveyard shift story here.
Yeah.
So these I don't know how much clearing out of anything was actually being done.
I don't think there was any clearing of anything out.
But you got to get them.
A lot of stairwells and a lot of going up and down stairwells.
Yes.
Yes, very. Yeah.
So the movie was put together by Stephen Carpenter and Jeffrey Obro. Okay. These people are the people responsible for one of my favorite films, The Kindred, which is cool. They also both were involved with the movie The Power from the early 80s, and also Servants of Twilight, which I believe was made for Showtime, but it was a fairly respected, I think, I don't have this in front of me, but I think that was a adaptation of a Dean Koontz story, I believe. Okay, it's Servants of Twilight. And also Stephen Carpenter was, I think, involved, or if he didn't create the Grimm TV show. The TV show.
Oh,
Grimm.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did some stuff.
I think that kind of had a big run there for a minute, I think.
Yeah. So
not for me.
No, I didn't watch. Right, I didn't watch it either. So we have here is a very early movie put together by these people here, getting their footing in Hollywood, Hollyweird as we call it,
Hollyweird,
on a $90,000 budget, shot on weekends.
Okay.
So I think we've been around those parts before. We know where they're coming from there. Right. So it is a kind of, I guess, slasher movie, but you're right. There is a lot of very good dark lighting. Yes. A lot of good setups. A lot of some good camera work going on. Things like that. Acting is neat.
It's up and down, and it's got what's her name from Spaceballs in it though.
Yes, it does. Daphne Zuniga.
Yeah.
Yes, this was her film debut.
Was it okay?
Yes, that was her film debut. She played Debbie in it.
Debbie,
yes,
Debbie.
And the film even comes equipped with the ultimate Robbie Krieger lookalike red herring. Well.
I see that. And,
guy need a haircut.
And, Art Garfunkel too.
Art Garfunkel. Yeah. If Robbie Krieger and Art Garfunkel had a baby, it would be Robbie Krieger or Art Garfunkel, and that was this guy. Yes,
it was definitely this guy, and he had creep written all over him. To the point where I'm like, this guy's not the killer. No. I had a feeling. I'm like, this poor guy. He's just a poor fella.
Right.
He's just a creep, but he's not that creepy. Whatever. But.
So we basically have some not really very likable characters.
No, not really.
They're kind of like meandering around the film.
Yeah, and up and down the stairwells and over to each other's, like the apartment or whatever.
Their area that they're supposed to be clearing out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it doesn't seem like there's a lot, like you said, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of clearing out at all.
No. It looked like they were more interested in maybe partying and things. And
now, they were supposed to be college students too, right?
Yeah, we were
35-year-old kids went back to college.
I wasn't sure if it was a teacher's meeting or if it was if it was the students, because again, early 80s, like there was an age problem. If you saw a movie that took place in high school, the people were in their 20s. If you saw something that was in college, the people were in their 30s. The actors were. Yeah. And so we're in the 30s realm here.
Yeah.
Except for Daphne, who was very young.
Say, now she was she actually kind of looked a little bit more like,
right.
Maybe a senior in college, but
and she was cute as a button too. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
So, we do have some kills in it, like some interesting. Now, if you saw pranks, I'm not sure what got edited out, but like there was.
Yeah, now I think there was some stuff that did. I'm not sure. I know
the drill scene, was that edited?
Yeah, there was some that was in there. I know there's a baseball bat.
Yeah, the over and over again.
Up.
Yeah, right.
It just didn't really have like a point to it very much. It's like, they'd introduce a character just to kill him off. Like, okay, who's this guy? Well, he's here to get the furniture or something. Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, he's just washing his face in the sink, and then he gets off. Like, okay, all right. Like, Tim, it's not very story heavy.
No, it's not. It's not.
And I thought it was me, and I rewound a couple times, like, what the heck? Wait, now where am I at? What's going on here with this? And I was like, no, it's not me. It's this movie's not like.
It wants to get going. It wants to get going.
Yeah, and it never really. I mean, it's not really like scary. They basically what they did is they stole Friday the 13th sound effects, score.
Well, there's The Shining too. There's a lot of The Shining, like the weird music from Shining, and some Friday the 13th stingers and stuff. Yes.
That sting, they use that too. I mean, they use it more than Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was, like, and that was really, you're supposed to be your shock or whatever.
Right.
Now, I will say, like, there's a couple points, like, I got confused a little bit, but I know what's her name, old cutesy face. She, Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting ready to leave with her parents, but she's up trying to get some stuff like out of her room or couldn't find something or what I couldn't remember exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But then she gets, her dad gets, he gets a little perturbed and he's here runs out of patience and decides to go find her. And then he comes up a stairwell and then basically whappo, he just gets,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, basically they introduce like these characters just to get killed. So I guess just to leave the last four, even though like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's, they're
that's
trying,
what kind of confusing is that the stories just didn't like, they just introduce a guy, kill him, or a person, kill him off real quick, but it just didn't seem to add to the story or have much to do with the story, or they just brought him in just for that simple fact. I don't know.
Here, look, I think what you're trying to explain is that even for 1982, but even for 1982, it feels cliched already.
Yeah.
And although the movie's worthwhile as a curiosity, I mean, it was. There's the cut version is very like it's a legendary thing, almost like Intruder. When you saw Intruder uncut, but Intruder was totally different because the uncut stuff was just unbelievable. What happened, and this was just a little. There were moments. The drill, I think some of the drill scene was edited for the. They hang on the drill going through the guy's head for a while. And that's kind of what is the unedited version of it. But it does. It feels even for 1982, it does feel cliched, and it follows those 80s slasher rules so strictly. Where there is no plot. It is just people getting lost or getting separated and killed by someone, and you really don't care what they're doing. You don't care why they're doing it, and to the point where you actually are just there to see people get killed. But it makes you appreciate movies like Friday the 13th, The Funhouse. That do have a little bit of story and a little bit of something else in there to go around it. Because otherwise, what we have, once again, Harley, which we've been plagued by this, is padding. That's what we have is padding.
I don't ever see a stairwell again, Tim, after this movie. I don't even want to go down up in my stairwell.
Right.
I don't want to come down this morning.
What about Daphne's and Ega's in there, though?
Yeah. And that was the thing. I think this is the problem is once Daphne or Debbie, die, I think I lost interest too. I really started to pine for her. And then I thought I kept seeing her in every stairwell they showed, but she wasn't there anymore.
Well, it also follows the slasher rule from the early 80s where, like you said, the Robbie Krieger guy, just they hone so hard on him that it's clear that he has nothing to do with anything except maybe to be help. And then when they finally reveal, when the killer is finally revealed to be Epstein from Welcome Back, Kotter, that's just where it's like, oh God. And then
that is bad because it's just like he's almost like I was the killer all along. Wait, that wasn't like okay. You want to redo that? Like, because that wasn't even.
It was me. It was me all the time. You sure it wasn't you half the time? And I don't know.
Yeah, wait a second.
Right.
I was like, bring back Art Garfunkel. Come on, man. I don't know, man.
Exactly.
I started to miss him as much as Daphne, man. It went at that point.
Yeah,
because it was like it was almost like he had some mental disability or something. Because and then he kept saying to her, like, "Let me help you get out of here. I need to help you get out of here." And then I'm like, "Yep, no, it's definitely not him." You know what I mean? Right. And then. I don't know. Yeah, the reveal is awful in this. It's one of the worst reveals I've ever seen in a movie ever. And I'm not trying to overstate that, but it was just an awful reveal because it's almost like, oh, really? Boo. And then the way he said it. It's just like,
it's totally over the top. It's totally like, it's Saturday morning cartoon villain, twirl your mustache, snidely whiplash kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, this movie is a stereotype movie. This is how slasher movies were stereotyped back then, why they got a bad name. This was a big deal back in the 80s. I mean, it was all over. I mean, it was an issue. It was like a political issue, like these movies, like the violence in them and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's long gone. But I'm just saying, like, but it was a big deal. And like, it was affecting us. It wasn't I mean, you kidding me? It was, I mean, I don't know. And so this thing follows all those tropes. I mean, just to a T, doesn't deviate at all.
Nope.
From any of it.
Nope.
And what you have here, what it looks like, is just something to throw on a screen to make some money. And there is a lot of stories from filmmakers and from distributors from back in those days saying that the reason that there was a slasher movie or a horror film almost every week or 2 weeks to put in the theaters to fill screens up. Yeah. Because there was such a demand for them. People would just go see them. They'd grab a date and they would hope the date would get scared and jump in their arms and they'd go watch this shit. I bet half the time the dudes were the ones jumping in the women's arms.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I'm just saying.
I'm scared.
Exactly. So,
and they just churned them out.
Yes, they
like
did.
Some of them were so bad. And that's what and you and I have had this conversation before, and I used to get really kind of bummed out about it, because there's a lot of them films I didn't watch when I was younger, and they're like, oh, you haven't seen that movie? And then I go and see it. I'm like, that's a piece of crap, man. Like I would have thought it was a piece of crap back when I was 12.
Right.
So I don't really, you know what I mean? Like I'm just, and I'm not a snooty horror guy, but I like my horror to be a certain, I don't know. It's and I guess like Evil Dead's, like those made me appreciate a little bit more of a zany horror stuff. But then, like we've also talked about, it's gone off then they take something like that and it goes off the rails more, and then you get even more zany or weirder stuff that's just not as good. And so same thing with Halloween. You got Halloween, which is such a great movie. One of the greatest movies of all time in my estimation. Probably the greatest horror film of all time. But then you got it slowly goes to how many different holidays can we do? Okay, you know what I mean? Friday the 13th, and then which is still okay, but then you keep getting deeper and deeper down the line till you're like, oh God, these are awful. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
well, I think history proved that it was about the killers.
Yes.
So if you didn't have a good killer, you didn't have. I mean, look, the whole problem I have with like when a stranger calls, you got a guy wearing Buster Browns. I mean, it's like and he's crying at a bar, about stuff. It's like that's a crime drama. That's not a horror film. But they wrapped it up as a slasher film. This what the hell? It's Epstein. I mean, it's not Epstein, but it's Epstein. I mean, it's like I was waiting for Gabe Kaplan to walk in and wrap his knuckle with a ruler or something. The Burning, The Funhouse, Humongous. These are movies that have these big, hulking, like deformed killers, almost like creatures in a way, and they're kind of sad, because they can't. You realize that there was that's what these people were destined to be. They were destined to be the Hills Eyes mutant killers, and stuff. So
exactly. When you got a face like that, what do you got to do? What else?
Exactly. But then you get movies that are more like. They're more giallo, influenced. And this one is more giallo influenced than anything. And the first Friday the 13th was too. The second Friday the 13th, on the other hand, said, wait a minute, what does our movie not have that Halloween had? The good killer. And they already had the built-in legend of Jason already. So in Friday the 13th Part 2, they completely, one of the first times to me that I noticed in film history, they just smudged over the story of the first one. Yeah. Said, actually, we were lying. Jason's still alive, living in a shack in the woods. He's alive. Yeah.
Oh, of course he's alive. Right. Where do you think he's been all these years?
And I still think Part 2 was such a shock to people that actually was Jason because they all think he was dead, And I don't think it was ever correctly explained. Ever. Never was explained. And so
I hope they never do.
Oh God, no. Well, I'm sure they have in a remake or two or something, but it doesn't matter. But this thing just doesn't have anything. It's more of a bad murder mystery trying to be a slasher film. I don't like those kinds of movies. New Year's Evil was like that. We reviewed that.
Yes.
Movies like that, they just didn't do anything. Even the better ones, like Happy Birthday to Me was a better film like that, but it was still just a person.
April, or what? Not April. Or Valentine, or
My Bloody Valentine. Though that was good. That was good.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that had Harry Warden, even if it wasn't technically the actual Harry Wharton, but they had an outfit and everything, and it made sense.
Yeah, they look cool, and it actually, and it was kind of he was terrifying, that character, I thought, you know what I mean? And
I was shocked it didn't have sequels.
A lot of these other ones are so forgettable, like this guy in this one.
Right,
Epstein is so, man, holy crap! And then after the reveal too, there's like another 15 or 20 minutes left, and I'm like,
padding.
And I'm like, this guy. I mean, I don't even want to see him. He stinks, man. Like, I really was longing for Art Garfunkel. And then what's up with the one guy too in this one? Like, is a creepy guy. Or they kind of make him kind of creepy too at the beginning. Was it Billy or something? The guy.
Oh, the other guy.
Cops. Yeah.
There's another guy there too. Yeah. I don't know. That's just another red herring or another.
Yeah.
It's just
and he shows up there right at the end. I'm like, wait, the guy that she bought what she buy something from him or was getting something? I can't.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what Angio was asking that too. She got confused. Robbie Krieger and that guy confused.
Yeah,
she got them both confused. I said, no, they're different people. That's because he was with the lady and he wouldn't stay around for her boobies, right? Is that the guy you're talking about? Yeah, she showed his boobies. Said, here's my boobies. He's like, I'm going out. You can't do this to me, woman. I'm like, no, that wasn't an insult. I think she was offering you a good, pleasurable
a good time,
but I don't know. 1982, Mr. Ben Harley. I'm not sure what that was. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not sure. I don't know. But so what we have here is, yes, we have the slasher movie without a good slasher.
Yes,
and that's the difference. That is, history has proven that is the difference between what the general population knows and what I know. As far as like, I'm a completist, so I know all these movies. But then again, I think there are movies like Humongous and things like that are underrated, that are underplayed, that you should see because they're very similar to these other movies and they're creepy as fuck sometimes too. And then this movie comes out and it's like, it's aiming at the same audience, but I don't think it knows its audience as well. Yeah. Now, when these people made The Kindred, they made a monster movie and they made a very wonderful, wonderful monster movie.
Well, the more that I see movies like this one, the less I feel bad about the ones that I missed, like this one as a kid, because we talked about this before. I've got burned.
Yeah,
I got burned. And them damn artists, them damn cover artists, burned me every time. Yeah, and then. But
you should relish that because that's what you are.
Yes. Yes,
so you basically are taking the bait from people who do what you do. So on some level, you have to have some kind of appreciation.
Oh yeah,
for that artistry. That's right.
And that's the thing is, I love that stuff. Absolutely love it. Tim, and it's weird because that stuff gives me such flashbacks too when I see these posters or these things too. And so you're right. It's like they really back in the day. I don't remember a lot of these movies, but I remember what the cover looked like, and so you're right. Yeah, it's
right.
But on this one, I'm gonna have to poop on this one too. Yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
I just didn't enjoy it, man. I mean, it's not. I didn't really. It just you never had to be on a date and you're like, this date's going nowhere. That's what this felt like.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, what?
No.
Yeah, this is going nowhere.
It doesn't go anywhere. It's a tease. The whole movie is like kind of a tease. And there's some parts too. There was one moment that really stuck out to me. I thought was really good. It was toward the beginning of the movie. I think there might be at a party or they're partying or doing something. And they walk outside and they walk by a window and there's somebody sitting in the window.
Yeah.
Like a silhouette, almost like Mother from Psycho.
Yeah.
And that is a tease. That offers you something that you never, what the hell was that? I mean, that was okay. But the thing is that it's just not a very good movie. Now, that being said, if you're a completist like me, what Synapse did with this was, I mean, they did a good job from what I saw. I got the Blu-ray, so what I saw, they did a good job with it. Not a whole lot of special features on it or anything. There's a couple. I didn't think they interviewed the composer and somebody else, which sometimes
He's
I'm like,
yeah. He's like, I just went over and took some stuff from Friday the 13th and I took a little from over here and we just put it together.
It's perfect. Well, as a completist like myself, I'm glad I have this. I'm totally glad I have it. There's nothing wrong with having it and stuff. It's just the movie itself is just disappointing. Even if you're not expecting much, it's disappointing.
And what was Epstein's problem, too? Was he just a jerk? Is that all it was?
I'm going to be frank with you. I don't know. I don't, because I was so checked out at that point. I didn't care. And
he was killing people's moms and dads, and then he was killing, like
his problem was he was in a bad movie. That's all.
He just didn't want to. He didn't want to clean out, man. He didn't want to clean up that place.
He was
really pissed about.
He wanted
that,
to play his video games. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what his gig was.
No, I don't
Still
either.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So we're both
bad
pooping.
Upbringing.
We're both pooping on the dormant drip blood.
Yeah. Dormant poop blood.
Lots of promise, but nothing really delivers. And Epstein kills it. Just kills it at the end there.
He reveals it so fast. It's not like, he even tried to he's just like, also, yes, it was me. I did it all. Like, you're like, wait, wow, man.
It would have been really cool if there would have been somebody living in the walls.
Excuse me, what'd you say?
Right.
What?
It would have been cool if somebody was like living in the walls or something. Just something different,
definitely.
but no such luck. So,
no.
All right. Well, we're both pooping on the dormant drip blood. And not sure what we're doing next week, Mr. Bernhardt. But damn it, let's get out of this padding problem. We got padding problems in all these movies.
There's been a lot of padding in this.
Well, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do, Mr. Bernhardt. So, I mean, we've tried everything. Short movies and everything. It's all padding. That's all we got.
Yeah, there's a lot of padding there.
I know. Well, let's get the hell out of here, Mr. Ben Harley. And all you deep thinkers out there, stay away from blood-dripping dorms and pranks, apparently. It'll just bore you. That's all it'll do.
Yeah,
so,
that was the biggest drag of a dorm I've ever been in.
Even with
no
Robbie.
Pillow fights,
even with Robbie Krieger and Art Garfunkel's love child in the as the red herring. So all right, let's get out of here next week. Again, don't know what we're doing. Let's cut down the padding. We're gonna do our damn best. But until then, stay spooky, and we'll talk to you then.
Keep it creepy, people.
You've been listening to the Timo and Harley Show, brought to you by ScreenPrintingFactory.com, your affordable one-stop solution to all your screen printing needs.